Welcome. Today, the guides are going to be sharing a message, and I think it's going to be a pretty big one. They've brought through a couple concepts to me that they wish to share today, and I'm not sure if this is going to be one big message or if they're going to split it up. And we'll see. They say, "Iniokorosa, dear ones, iokorosa chikara." Today, we wish to talk about this idea of self-love and self-acceptance and self-worth. Iniokoroso chinakarasa chikara. You are very worthy. Aniokoroso chikarasa, but you have put a price on yourself. And you have paid the price of trying to be what you are not. What you are is glorious. So beautiful, divine. But this has been covered up with ideas of who you should be, ideas of what society thinks you should be. And all this is changing. But we wish to get to the heart of the matter today and talk about this. And we will interweave some other concepts into this, concepts that we have talked about in past, and new concepts as well, where we wish to go. We wish to move into a timeless state, the vortex or the portal, that transcends time. This is where we speak to you from. I'm asking them for more information on this. There is a portal. There is an opening. The veil is thin. Is getting thinner. And there is a portal. A vortex. Why we call it this is because it is like an energy vortex. If you could imagine a portal, but even though we're asking you to imagine this portal, it is beyond what your imagination could even imagine. But if you would indulge us, that there is a portal. And behind this portal, and there is an energy, whoosh, and it's like they're showing it to me like this, like a when you open up the portal, or you see through the portal, or you see behind the portal, you see this like vortex of energy that goes like this, whoosh, whoosh, like out. And it's beautiful, and it's like you are drawn out through this vortex of energy into a timeless space, into a timeless state. Yes, they say I could say space, that's fine too. And this is where we speak to you from. And we will also answer now, because we are talking about this. Astrid, so a viewer by the name of Astrid, we're going to answer her question today. So this is where we speak to you from. And we wish to bring you into this space. So, in one way, you could say you would be coming into this space. Another way said is vibrationally, you may experience this timeless state, this space. Because not really that you're going there. And it's not really that they reside there, they're telling me. It is that we are meeting there. We are realizing that we are already one there. So we are already there. But we remove the shackles, the veil, and the costumes, the denser frequency, that keeps us believing in what we see before our eyes. And like we said before, the word believe also contains the word lie within it, L-I-E. And that which you believe is not necessarily residing in truth. You have a belief in time, and you use the idea of time to get where you're going, and it's useful for where you are, but it's not going to always be useful, and it's definitely not useful as you transcend, because you let go of the concepts of time. And Astrid asked, the viewer asked, where I meet the guides, and they say we don't meet anywhere. We are right here together now. We meet in frequency. So my experience is that how I channel the guides is said that I raise my frequency. Some of the raising of the frequency that I do is just allowing the light language. It raises my frequency. And there's other ways that I raise my frequency through breath work and yoga and other things. Meditation, and stepping back so I can let them come through. And I'll talk about that more in another video because a lot of you have asked about it, and I'm definitely going to do that. But today they say, we just match, we merge frequency right here in the present moment. So we don't meet in a space or a place. We meet right here, right now. So they say they're bringing this message from this place or this space, but it is really right here, right now. And it is a frequency which you are already a part of. And in this message, we wish to explain this more, and this is why we talk about this now or bring this up now. Kind of like a segue to what we're going to talk about today. So we talk to you from this place, from this space, from this vortex, because you are timeless. What keeps you believing that you're not enough? It is your view. It is your vantage point. Yes, we could say it is your conditioning, but we would like to use these words today to explain this, like a glass elevator. You could say that you would take a journey on a glass elevator. You get on the bottom floor. And if you are looking out the window on the bottom floor, what do you see? You see the street view. You see the people on the street that are homeless. You see the war and the violence, the guns. You see, so they're showing me like, because I'm where I am in Canada, they're showing me like downtown Toronto, and they're showing me like the subway systems and transit, and how there's like knives and guns and things that are happening like on the transit system. So this is your view. You see all of this happening before your eyes. And the other things that you see from this vantage point is all of the billboards, magazines, news and media, your phones, telling you to be a better person, to improve and to self-help. Now, we will say that we are not saying anything negative about self-help, but we wish to explain something, and if you can indulge us, you might get a different view. Now we're saying there is nothing wrong with self-help, but we are saying it is the idea that the self, the small self, needs to be helped. And we, from one point of view, we would say, sure, yes, this could be accurate. However, you are seeing your billboards telling you that you are not enough. Even your idea that you need to have some kind of help, this self-help, is this idea that you are flawed in some way. And we could say, from a personality, egoic perspective, that you could say that yes, you are flawed. You might look around the earth and say this whole system is flawed. And this is one perspective. However, like we said previously, you are being called now to a higher perspective. But when you are on the ground floor, this is the perspective you see. Get thinner. Lift the weights. Body build. Color the hair. Get skinny. And they're showing it to me like a very cinched waist and have like an hourglass figure. And then over here, like earlier in time, to have like like a more robust figure, and this was beautiful, and like implants everywhere, to make you bigger and better. And you're trying to have smaller like portions, and but to make yourself better, you think that you can manipulate your life. And this is evident also in your ideas of what manifestation is. I want to manifest more money, more cars, more for myself. I want more. Everything is built on this. I want something more than what I already am. And even you're using things like affirmations, and again, we're not saying there's anything wrong with this. So if you could hold tight until the end, so you can see where we're going to go next. Even this idea that you need to affirm to yourself that you are something different than what you are. You are better than what you are. So I'm not enough. Instead, I'll use the affirmation, I am enough, I have enough. And this is fine. You can do this. It's part of the process. However, now, as you start to raise up the elevator, shaft, as you raise, your view becomes different. You have a new vantage point. And this is the new vantage point. You begin to rise above the city. They're showing me like downtown and a glass building, and lots of like garbage and litter, and busyness and fighting, and even they're showing me love, but the love that they're showing me is like lots of people getting together and breaking up and being very attached to like their partners, and outcomes, and born in the idea that we will get together and we will like white picket fence, have kids, and do like all of these traditional like ideas and things. And then people like breaking out of these ideas of traditional things, and we won't have children at all, but instead we'll vacation and do all these other things for ourselves. And they're showing me kind of like life being based on this, and lots of like busyness and activity and sort of like chaos, drinking, alcohol, partying, smoking, drugs, all of this. And as you raise, you begin to raise above this. It begins to become a little more quiet, and you get a little bit more of a bird's eye view of what's happening below, but it's not as in your face. So you're able to see it a little bit more clearly. It's not as immediate to you, because you are raising above it. And as you are raising above it, you begin to see things from a different light. And as a matter of fact, you see more light. Because when you were down here on the ground, and it was farther away from the light, and as you rise, you get closer to the light. And this is where we've talked about before the new earth children that are coming and that are here. They're coming in at this higher vantage point. They're getting on the elevator, if you would, at the 4th floor, the 5th floor, the 10th floor, the 20th floor. They start coming in at a higher floor. So their perspective is already a higher perspective. They already have the bird's eye view, if you would. So they're not as, what's the word? Could I say affected? They don't believe. They don't believe in that same view that we have on the bottom floor. So it's a little bit more harder, you could say, it's a little bit more challenging for us because we have to rise from the bottom floor, if you would, up. And they're coming in a little higher. Now, as you all begin to go higher, it becomes lighter and lighter, because everything that you saw down at the ground floor becomes like a little speck of dust, like a pinprick. You're not seeing it anymore in this way. And you start to rise above and above the clouds. And what seemed very dark and like a cloudy, rainy day down on the bottom level, as you rise and you rise through through the clouds, you start to see sun. And as you rise above the clouds, you realize it is so beautiful and so sunny here. And this sun has always existed. And the only thing that has stopped you from seeing the sun is all of the clouds, and then all of the smog, and then all of the hustle and bustle that has kept you so immediate. Everything that you experience on earth life feels immediate, doesn't it? It feels so true and so right now and so happening. And when you're in the middle of something so chaotic or something that feels so uncomfortable to you, it overwhelms the system. It overwhelms you. And Iokorasa, don't you find, Iokorasa, that when there's a problem at work or a problem with the children or a problem in your marriage, that it becomes all consuming. And excuse me, not even that, even the, not just that, when you have a discomfort in your body, in your physical body, you're searching for the way out of that discomfort. And sometimes that's drugs and alcohol. Sometimes it's using like television, social media, other ways of numbing out the pain. Could be food, could be a lot of things. Even like addictions to like things like pornography. Anything to escape the discomfort, especially this. The idea of using these types of things to escape pain. I never, personally, I've never thought of it like that, but they're showing it to me like that. Even things like pornography being a way of escaping pain. So, that's just interesting. And everything feels so immediate, so now, and so true, and so real when you're on the bottom floor. When your view, and it's so in your face. And there's so much conditioning. But as you rise above this, the pull that it has on you isn't so immediate. So when you get up to the fourth floor, when you see things down happening on the street, the war and the homelessness, it doesn't have the same pull. It doesn't create the same pain. And as you continue to rise above it, it becomes like almost like a memory to you. Like you know it. Can I say this? Like a memory, but without the emotion behind it. Like you know it is happening. Because you remember that's what happens down there. But you don't see it in the same way, with the same pain, through the same lens, with the same attachment. And as you continue to go higher and higher, you move beyond the idea of that the sun is always kind of like shining up here, and you experience the vast spaciousness of consciousness, consciousness, pure consciousness, that permeates everything. What does this have to do with self-love? This is the ultimate love. And this is the ultimate self-love. And what happens is when you're here on the bottom floor, you're always trying to love yourself, but you're trying to love a false version of you, a version of you that can never live up to some like self-imposed and society-imposed standard of what good is, what beauty is, what success is. I just need a little bit more here. What makes you worthy? What makes you worthwhile? What makes you not only worthwhile and worthy of love, worthy of living like what you would call a good life, worthy of like abundance and riches? What makes you worthy of this? So you're using a lot of tools, and yes, you can use them. Use them all you like. But we ask you to think about this and ask yourself a different question, which is, who is the you that needs to use the affirmations? Who is the you that isn't worthy? Who is the you that isn't, what is this word? Just one moment, please. That who is the you that feels less than? Who is the you that feels shame? Who is the you that is not good enough? Who is the you that has all these problems? Who is this you that you can't love? It is a false you. It is a egoic structure. It is a personality structure. And you're trying to use the personality structure to fix, if you would, the personality structure. Isn't it? You are using an idea of self that you view is somehow less than, somehow broken, somehow not good enough, not quite right yet. Isn't what you want it to be. Doesn't have what you want to have. Isn't doing what you want to do, isn't living your soul purpose, isn't living your life purpose, isn't measuring up, is not good enough in some shape, way, or form. And you're using an identity to fix an identity. And this is what's happening everywhere, all over your whole world. You are everything that you see and are experiencing. You're experiencing and has been manifested from this personality structure, and you're using a personality structure to fix it. You're using a personality structure to manifest. Right now, you want to manifest more abundance. You want to manifest a new home, a new car, a new life, a new body. You even want to jump timelines into a new reality. But you're doing it from a space of, I don't have what I want. I don't have what I want right now, and I want something different than what I want. And this is the whole issue. And this is the issue with everything. And because you're trying to even fix your ideas of war and your political system, injustice, you're all trying to fix it from this personality structure and this deficit. You're trying to fix it from a deficit. They want this word. And it is only through taking the glass elevator and to the most beautiful love, to this ultimate self-love, that is it's so beautiful. And I just really wish that the feelings that I feel when I channel this through, that you also can, and this is what I'm saying to the guides, and they say that yes, you can also feel this. The love that you are, and just the wholeness that you are. It's so beautiful. And I have to let it in. And it's for me, I'm doing these and I'm channeling this and I'm trying to keep it back and not let the full love in, but I want to let it in. And it just causes me to tear up because it's so beautiful, because you are so perfect. And you are just, whatever you might go through in your life, I have to tell you, because this is what's coming through, but just from a personal perspective, but the guides are bringing this through to me, is just this, how beautiful you are. Just how, there's not even a word, I'm just saying beautiful, wonderful, and amazing you are, but how worthy you are, and how loved you are, and how much love you are. Both loved and how much love you are. There's absolutely nothing that you could do. There's absolutely nothing that could even ever happen to you that could taint how beautiful, how wonderful, how amazing, and how worthy you are of love and everything beautiful and good that you could possibly imagine, and more beyond that. Okay. Let me just go back in a little deeper now and back to what the guides are saying. And this love is the ultimate self-love. This love is who you are. And it needs no fixing. It needs no affirmations. It needs no accolades. It needs of nothing. Although you may do those things as a way of a remembering. And they're all part of a path, if you would. Yes, they say use this word path. Journey, whatever you like to use. It's not really accurate because everything is happening in the present moment, but as we perceive it, so as we perceive it as time and as a journey and as a path, they're using this for us. It's all part of the realization of the truth of who you are. So as you journey up this glass elevator, you get away from all of this conditioning that's on the ground floor. And you realize this spaciousness, this pure consciousness, and you realize yourself as it, and you are it in form. This energy of pure consciousness, you might call it source energy, you might like to call it God, you can call it whatever you like. You could call it Christ consciousness. This is you. This is who you are. You are no other than this. But you are source or God in form in a denser field. You are God in a dense field of energy. You can think of different fields, different vibrational fields, like you can think of different dimensions. You can think of different dimensions. So you can think of yourself, tree, the couch, everything as you. You as a, one moment please, they need a harmonization of energy. God expressed as you, in a dense field of energy. Everything is this one pure consciousness. This one source energy, let's call it this today. Taking a form in many dimensions, worlds, universes, but let's stick to 3D, shall we? You are God in a three-dimensional experience. That's it. And as you rise and you see down, you also see up. Your view changes. And you see and know yourself as this vast space, this vast spaciousness, this consciousness that you are part of. That takes a form that becomes informed by its landscape. So consciousness takes a form in a landscape, let's say the third dimension, and it is informed through the third dimension. Really, it's meant to be informed through this light, through this divinity's consciousness. Is supposed to inform the landscape. That's what they're saying. Consciousness is supposed to inform the landscape, but as consciousness comes into form and has been conditioned, now it is being informed. The landscape is being informed not through the pure consciousness. The landscape is being informed through the personality structure and through the conditioning. What is conditioning? Conditioning is an idea. It's a relic in a museum. Conditioning is a relic in a museum. It is information in a history book that you keep reliving over and over and over again. And isn't it true? That when you wake up tomorrow morning, you expect that your house is going to be your house the way that you left it when you went to sleep. You expect that your partners, your friends, your work is going to exist in the exact same week, exact same way as it did before. And as a matter of fact, isn't it true sometimes that you cross your fingers and hope that it does? You really just want things to stay the same, even though you want them to be different. You want things to be different because you experience the pain of this 3D manifestation. And more accurately said, you experience the pain of the attachment and the belief in this 3D manifestation, the way that you see it and view it from the ground level, your belief in it and your attachment to it, that's what creates the suffering. That's what creates the pain. And we don't say that there isn't like a pain, you stub your toe, of course there is the pain, but then there is the pain of the pain, the suffering of the pain. And that's born from the attachment, the conditioning, and the belief systems. So, now, up here, you get a whole new view, which is a realization of what has always been. And this is something that we really wish to express, because what happens is you think that you need to become enlightened or you need to become awakened. And from one point of view, yes, people are becoming more and more awake. But we wish to take this idea of achievement, and they're showing me the wastebasket like they do, and we like to drop it in the garbage. Why? Because you are all very set in your ways of achieving something, including enlightenment. And enlightenment isn't an achievement. It is a realization of what has always been here. When you're in the glass elevator and you go up and you have a whole new view and you experience spaciousness and you know yourself as this pure consciousness, this pure source energy, this always existed. This never not existed. It was always, always, always here. And it was always here for you. All you had to do was get on the elevator and go up. And we'll talk about this more in a future message. But for today, we will say it never not existed. It always existed and it always will exist. And as this pure source energy manifests in multiple ways, it takes multiple expressions. It takes expressions like tree and clouds. And you could say God as a cloud, God as a tree, God as me. So God is the carpet. God is every single thing. Every cell, every thought, everything as God. This is of the utmost importance, dear ones. Because this is what changes your world. And this is the ultimate self-love, and this is the self-love that changes humanity. How do you experience 5D? How do you experience a new earth? You're not building it with tools. You're not traveling to it, so to speak. It doesn't exist somewhere else. And they'll talk more about this later, but they're saying for now, because I'm questioning them, but they're saying for now, what they really wish to impress or express is that this love allows you to know yourself as love. When you travel up, if you would, and you experience this vastness, this spaciousness, this source energy, and you know yourself as one and the same as the source energy taking a manifestation, the love that is here is unbelievable, and it is unsurpassed. Is this the right word? There is nothing but this pure love. So as you look down upon everything, what you see now is you see divinity. You see God in form. You know yourself as God in form. You know yourself as source energy in form, and you know all things as that. So as we talked previously in a message about all the toxicity that was under the house, and we talked about like all of this type of thing, all of the waste and the toxicity and everything, all of this toxicity is also God in form. Nothing is outside of this. This is God, source energy, in a dense field, being formed in a dense field, being informed through a personality structure. Now it will be God in a dense field, being informed through consciousness itself, and that changes the experience of the dense field. So I hope that makes sense. So right now, Earth has been informed for the most part through the personality structure. And that's why you see war. That's why you see what you see. God, pure source energy, is here. It's never not here. It's everywhere. It's taking a manifestation in a dense field you call Earth. This field is dense because it is being informed by all of these ideas and beliefs and personality structures, many of them, because there's many of you, and it's informing the field, and it's informing what you experience. And as you raise higher vibrationally, and you open to this, what is here now, this source energy that is here now, that is you, this begins to inform the landscape. The personality structure begins to become dissolved, if you would. Again, we can talk about this more at another time. But the personality structure begins to be transmuted and transformed. So it's not that you have no personality anymore. It's that your personality isn't an identity. You still have a personality, you still have preferences, proclivities, but it's no longer your identity. So then now and more is happening. So it's happening now, and more will happen. Is that this source energy is informing the field. Indeed, we're informing it now. And so it is. And this is what's happening. And as the new earth children are born, they're born on the 4th floor, let's say, just for this idea, that you get the idea that they're coming in at a higher frequency, and they're informing the field. And as you are informing the field is getting lighter and brighter. And as the new earth children inform the field, it's also raising in its vibration. So the earth itself is raising in vibration. Your physical body is raising in vibration. Your energy body is changing and raising, becoming lighter. Your light body is becoming even lighter. Yeah. They're just informing me now. And now they're informing you too. Nishi alai kyote shi waktai shi kiona kishi ai tokoro se tigiana. So dear ones, the ultimate self-love is this. And this, you care for the self. You care for all of the individual selves because you know them as one. Taking an expression, that thought that you have in your mind, that intrusive thought, that is, you deem it like a negative thought, you no longer feel like, oh, I am so bad or stupid, or something is wrong with me because I have all these intrusive thoughts, or I have these horrible thoughts. There's something really wrong with this. You see what's really right. You see what's really right. This divinity that is you and that is all things, including thoughts, every cell in in your body, everything is expressing as a thought, as a result of being in a dense field. And you can simply realize thought. Not good, not bad. Thought that has been created by an alignment and agreement to being in a dense field. That is now changing. Has been changing and will continue to change. It is just thought. Until you embody it and say, my thought belongs to me. And you can do this all you like, or you can say, it is a thought expressed, because right now thoughts, there are millions, billions, trillions of thoughts, they're everywhere, and that are informing the field. And as your vibration is lower, you are in alignment, you are in a frequency alignment with those thoughts. So those thoughts might cross your mind, but they don't necessarily belong to you. You're not the owner of the thoughts. You're just not. But you want to stake a claim to them, and you may as you wish, but you are not the owner of them. They are thoughts. That this experience you call you is experiencing based on many factors. One of those factors is history. This is the repetitive thought that's on repeat. This is the personality structure that you say is me. But as you begin to travel up this glass elevator, and your view becomes lighter, and you see the thoughts, and you no longer identify with them. You realize they're not mine. And who I am is this vast spaciousness. Who I am is one and the same as this. And who everything is, including these thoughts, is this too. This is a thought that is being born and has been born, and is in alignment and in agreement to a certain vibration that is in a dense field. And this person I call Diane is in this dense field right now, having this experience, and therefore having these thoughts. And all they are thoughts. This stubbing of the toe is a stubbing of what I call toe. And as a result of being in a dense field of energy and to alignment and agreement, I have a physical form that feels pain, and so I feel pain. But I, big I, doesn't feel pain. But personality structure and physical body feels pain. And both are true, and both exist at the same time. But one is ultimately true. Why is it ultimately true? Because it lasts forever, and it never is born, and it never dies, and it never can be changed, and that is pure consciousness. That's who you are. So this doesn't feel good or bad. Doesn't say right or wrong. Is just a pure consciousness. A pure conscious field of energy. And you could say that spirit is formed from this. And that spirit takes a soul, and that soul takes a body, and that body has an experience. And then the body dies, and the soul has an imprint of the karmic experiences, and goes back to like a spirit, and like merges with one, and all of that information that was in the soul is now information that is part of the one, and it is all the information like Akashic Akashic, like what you would call Akashic records. And is like all available. And because it's all part of this one, like every soul, all the information is like part of this one. And and that's how we can access it. Is because we can merge with this one. And you can merge with this one. Why? Because you are part of it. And you're going to say you are it, actually. But when you're taking a human experience, you might not experience that. So, dear ones, we wish to say that you are so worthy. What gives you this view? This new viewpoint, if you would. It is being present, moving beyond time and space through this portal and into this vortex of and it's every time they move me into this vortex, it's so beautiful. It's like moving into this vortex, which you can do too. And through being present, and through meditation. You can experience a timeless space or state. Why? Because it is here now. And time is like an illusion. Everything on the ground floor is like an illusion. It's not to say that you bypass it and say, oh, this is not real. And sure, it's a real experience. A temporary experience, but not an ultimately true experience. It is like a football game, if you would. You go to the game, you eat the foods at the concession stand, you cheer for the teams, you're sad when your team lost, you're so involved in it, and it seems so real. But when you have a bird's eye view, and you go above the bird's eye view, you realize that it was not really, explain please, more please. It's not that it wasn't true, it was an opportunity for an experience to have source, experience, football, to experience the highs, the lows, in between, eating from the concession stand, what is this like, why? All as a part of an experience, to realize itself, for you to realize yourself as itself, as this oneness, as this one divine light. Yes, this one divine light. For this reason, sometimes you might take, or source may take a life or an experience in a different dimension, in a different world, to have an experience of eating ice cream and experiencing poverty. Another one might be to experience what it's like to be without poverty, to be to be in an experience of like alien life, other stars, like constellations and like other planets and stuff, to have like an experience. It's so beautiful, by the way. And so you could have said the energy here, like extraterrestrial energy here, and so beautiful. And sending it through me to you, so you could experience it too. And so beautiful. So to experience what it's like to have human, what it's like to be alien, what it's like to be like E.T. And they're showing me just like, oh, they're so loving. It's so loving. Oh my gosh, Anikioso Kareseji Karasata Kareseji Kiana Sakurasa. I'm sending this. Well, I'm not doing anything, but they're sending this love. And Ikurasachi Karasa, these extraterrestrials are sending this love. Ay, Sakurate Karasachi Kara, and there's so many of them. And Ikurasa, so I'm asking them about who they are. And Ikurasachi Karate Karasata Karasata Kurasachi Karasa, and there's so many, many of them. And Ikurasa Ichikurata Kiri, can you say Karasata Karasi? There's more coming in now. They want to come in. They're coming in. From many planets. If you identify as a starseed, your family is here. And it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm laughing and crying at the same time. Oh, it's so beautiful. Anisio korochikira mai kairesi ti shia kaisi kiata kenisi kiata kesi kote shia kanesi kia. Eni kia katsu kusia katesi kia pakarasa. If you feel like Earth has not been your home, eni akarase chikirasa, you wish to go home. Eni akarasa karasa, and through the times in front of you, they might seem hard at times. Eni akarasa chikirasa, and you might feel like you just want to leave Earth. Eni karasa, you don't want to be here anymore. And esikarasa, maybe you never wanted to be here. Eni esakarasa chikira, they bring peace to your heart now. Eni akarasa chikarasa karasa, and they say you are home. Eni akarasa chikarasa, you are always home. Eni akarasa chikarita, and you may know this. Ikarasa, you may tap into this. Ikorota kenasi chikira karasa chikara. Okay. Eni sikine shikini akarasoti ashaikini. Eni akasa. So it's so beautiful. And this is probably going to be one of these transmissions where there's mascara everywhere, and that's going to be the way that is today. Because it's just so beautiful. They're so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It just really is. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you for that. There's nothing that I could ever say that could just tell you and explain to you like what that experience is like to receive that loving energy. It's so loving. It's so much love. It's just so beyond like any kind of love that I could ever just even express to you. So I hope that you can feel that too through this transmission. And they say you can. Okay, I have to go back now and see where the guides are at and see what's coming through, if anything else. Ai si shiana e koroso e kia takarote shia kana e tokia ne si kototo kia takasai e si shi kia wa tasai shia wo tikini ao ai ni o ai toshi waktai. So love inika love ini kia so kote shia waktai si konosa kia takosi kia kataso kia inia kato korasai chi koroto koroso chia karasa. And this is how like a new earth, Iokoroso Chikinakara is manifest, Iokorotokora Sechikara is experienced. In Iokorotokara Sechikara, this is the ultimate manifestation. This is the ultimate self-love. When you have this realization, Iokorotokara Sa, when you're present in the present moment, Iokoroso Chikara to what is always here, Iokorasa, what is you in this, we use the idea of taking an elevator in Iokoroso, but you don't need to. In Iokorosa, it's here right now. In Iokorosa, but it's just this idea that when you take the elevator, when you meditate or you're present in the present moment and you get this bird's eye view and you go beyond it into this timeless state, and you realize this pure consciousness that you are, you realize the ultimate manifestation is already manifesting through you, and you allow that to happen. You no longer manifest in the ways that you do now, like, oh, I want a car and money, vision boards, all of this. And you can do it now all you want, but there comes a time when you move beyond this. And into the ultimate manifestation, which is always wanted to manifest through you. Its purpose, and your purpose is one, which is to allow for this manifestation to unfold. And this is the ultimate self-love, the ultimate self-worth. And in this, you see all beings, all things as God in form, being informed sometimes through the lower plane or the material world or the 3D Manifestation, is this accurate? That's fine. They say, you get the idea. I try to keep it as accurate as I can do. To what they're showing me. So you see all as this, and you allow all to be in their beautiful divine expression. And in this love, this pure love and this pure knowing, you begin to inform the field. Who? Not the personality self. Although the personality still exists, you still like your peas and your carrots. You still have a personality. But you know, an internal knowing. You are divine mind. We talked about divine mind before. You are divine mind. And this divinity flows through you. This mind of divinity flows through you. This pure consciousness flows through you and is you. And you see all things as such. And as you see all things as such, you claim them in the light. Right now, you claim things in the darkness. That's that person that did that thing to me, and therefore they are like this. So that is this thing that is like this and this, like war. War is like this. It's very bad. And I choose sides or I don't choose sides. However you think about that, you claim more of that. When you see that all of it, the guns, the violence, the weapons, the people, everything is energy, is source energy taking a form in a lower field. You have a knowing of that this is like a temporary manifestation and is in a flux of change. Being sort of like played out like a play, if you would. And when you see it in a whole new light. And that is what changes it. How does it change it? It changes it because you're now informing the field with this consciousness of this divine consciousness, not you, the personality structure. And divinity itself, divine mind is flowing through you. It always has been. But now you're allowing it. The personality structure is dismantled or dissolved or transformed. You still have personality, but it's no longer with the attachment. All these things have happened to me. This is who I am, with all this identification. This dissolves. Like these kinds of attachments and identifications dissolve. But you still have personality. You still have an experience. But you know yourself as divine, and you know all things as divine. And this is what changes your world. This is your ultimate power. This is your way beyond war. This is all of it. Your way beyond war will never be with more war. The end. But we're not ending on that note. But we just want to say, like that's it. Like how you would say, like hashtag just saying. They're saying hashtag just saying, and war won't end with more war. The end. But this is the way. It is like this elevated consciousness, this elevated view. And they're thanking me now, and thanking you. And they're sending love. And they're what is this? Clearing the field. The energy field like around you. And they're doing like a chakra balancing. Thank you. They brought my hands in so quickly. I wasn't expecting it. Okay, thank you so much to the guides. Oh my gosh. And all of the ETs and energy beings from other like star systems and other planets and universes. They're saying, and worlds, you could have said, that came today, and it's could have for us, you know, could have said thank you to them, and it's could have said, and they say yes, yeah, like it's could have said, like, I'm thanking them, but also they're saying we are one. So it's like what is this like? You can experience this anytime. Take the elevator up. What is the elevator? Just be present. In the present moment. To experience the vastness that is right here, right now. The pure source energy, the pure consciousness that you are is right here, right now. Okay, thank you. And thank you so much to the guides for this transmission today. And as always, we're sending you so much love. Thank you.